This is my first try at it.
Did you get it flipped?
No. Hi, everyone. I'm Marlo Smith, and welcome to Dish It Up. This is where I get together with friends, cook, and have lots and lots of fun. So today, my special guest is fashion designer and founder of Marla Wynn Fashions. I know, Marla Ginsburg is here. Hi, Marla, how are you?
Hi, honey. I am fine and raring to go because guess what? The day started early. I haven't had breakfast, and what we're going to make today is great for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So what are we going to make?
We are going to make something that's embedded in the tradition of my family. As you know, my kids were born and raised in Paris. Or in my house, it was all about the crepe.
Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to that. What's our first step?
I'm guessing I've put in a cup and a half. I kind of make like a little hole in the middle, right? Because you're going to want to blend in your flour slowly so you don't have lumpy crepe. Crack an egg and put it in that little center hole. Voila. Now I take that and I just give it a little stir because it's going to be really thick and gooey. And now I just start pouring in some milk. So I put in, I'm guessing, about a cup and a half of milk. And I'm just stirring that in, right, to see where I go. But believe it or not, the other important ingredient in this whole mess is water. And I'm going to pour that in there to give it some liquid. And then I just pre-melted some butter because you do want some butter in there so it doesn't stick.
I've added the butter. What do we do next?
If you stir in that butter, you're going to keep going until when you pull it up. Do you see how it's super liquid?
Yes.
That's kind of where you want it to be. Take a little bit of butter. You don't want a ton. And you're going to let that melt. I've heated up my pan. You can see it's like steamy. And I'm going to pour some of this mixture just in the middle of the pan. Not a lot because I want it really thin. Then I take my little, your flexible spatula and I just start kind of cleaning up the sides of it and just slipping it under the crepe, right? But you want it to get nice and brown and you want to get it to where it's sort of, kind of slipping around your pan.
This is my first try at it.
Did you get it flipped?
No.
My first two crepes are somewhat crappy, but I think they'll get better. Look, on your next one, when you get it in there, you're going to be working your spatula, just putting it in different areas so that thing is really slip sliding, right? That way, when you stick the whole, you see I'm sticking the whole spatula and whoop.
See, I didn't get the tip of putting it in the middle.
Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take my handy dandy sugar and I'm just going to sprinkle it on top of the crepe so that it has a nice sweet taste for our sweet one, right?
Okay, and I was successful. I was successful and flipping, thanks to your tip.
Yeah?
Yes, it was perfect. I just didn't realize that getting it right and putting it in the middle made all the difference in me not breaking it completely. So let's talk about how do you go from producer, director to being inspired to create your own fashion line.
I literally bought a sewing machine and I Googled. So you can Google this crepe recipe and use any one you want. And I Googled my entire fashion career. I literally started my career out of my garage. If you really love something, Marlo, and you put your all into it, if you can see it, you can have it.
Yes.
But you got to work for it. There's no magic bean. This is the most perfect one I've done. Do you see the color of that?
Oh yeah, that's gorgeous.
Right?
Do you remember your first collection, your first time being on air at HSN?
So I do my hour, half hour, whatever it is, and I come out and there's all these people around, one of whom is Lynn Ronan. And Lynn walks up to me and she goes, "Do you want the good news or the bad news?" And I knew the bad news was you look like an idiot, made a fool of yourself. And I said to her, "Okay, give me the bad news first." And she said, "Well, we're canceling all your subsequent hours." And I'm like, I don't blame them. I came up with a silly thing and I probably was horrible on air, whatever. And I said, "Okay, so what could possibly be the good news?" And she said, "Honey, you sold out." I was jumping up and down and holding my mother and crying. I couldn't believe it. And thanks to HSN, you guys know how I feel about the company. I mean, They took a woman entrepreneur. Thank God they did not know how much I didn't know. And they gave me a shot. And that's all you need, a shot.
Love that. How do you want women to feel when they wear your clothes, Marla?
They're wearing the clothes and the clothes aren't wearing them. I want them to be comfortable.
You have your hands in literally so many pots. How do you keep it all together, girlfriend?
I don't keep it all together, girlfriend. I lose it all the time. I learned in 2008 that the secret to making things happen is you get up and you do it.
What are we going to garnish with first?
We like to take our hazelnut. You can even take some little sliced berries, throw them on there. This is how I would serve it up to my kids. How's that, right?
That's an amazing dessert.
It's basically what tortillas are to certain cultures. That's what the crepe is to the French, and now it can be to us as well.
Marla, so much fun to be in the kitchen dishing it up with you. I can always shop the Marla Wing collection at hsn.com. Once again, Marla, thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
It's been my pleasure. Bon appetit and good shopping.